Hey everybody, it is Sandra Dilbeck. It is Thursday night, Team Inspire Team Zoom, and I am super excited about this Zoom tonight because um, the other night I was asked to speak on a Zoom about VIP and the process of going through the VIP 2-week time frame and so forth. And there were so many just aha moments that came from that. Hang on, I'm going to shut this door because you can see the hallway and the chair that I'm trying to hide. It's my old desk chair that I don't like. But anyway, so some of those things that came from that Zoom the other night are what fueled my fire for our topics for tonight. And then also some things that I've heard just in the last couple of days. So the first thing I wanted to start off with is we know it's a new month. We know it's July. I mean, here we are, we're only on July the 2nd and auto ships are going to start running as of midnight tonight because of the holiday. So that makes July feel like, whew, a whirlwind for sure. So I was making sure I had all my messages out, double checking everybody in my cloud to see who had their auto ships and getting that updated and letting them know, hey, your auto ship's actually going to process as of, midnight, start processing on the 3rd. And so got all those out, but that is just a piece of customer service. And you know what? I was looking back through some of my notes of different calls I've listened to, different Thrive-A-Paloozas I've been to, and I cannot tell you how many times I saw the words customer service and staying in touch with our customers, letting them know about our auto ships and things like that, their auto ships, that's key. Now, we've got July the 4th coming up. If history repeats itself, Lavelle is going to be throwing out a promo of some kind. More than likely, I don't know, my guess would be July 4th and July 5th. Or it could be a one-day promo, July the 4th. Sometimes they'll extend them into the 5th, but we don't ever know that until we wake up the next morning. So I'm anxiously awaiting to see what it is that they may throw out for us. However, I've had a couple of customers say, hey, are there going to be any 4th of July promos? And I've told them, I said, well, there may be, but in case there aren't, I'll have a promo of my own. So I've already got some ideas in the back of my mind, going to get my info done of what my promo is going to be, just in case Lavelle does not throw one out for the holiday. So be thinking about that. If they don't throw one out, what would be a promo that you could do? Okay, well, even if you don't have a ton of credits, you could rebate them back credits for shipping. You could offer rebates for shipping. Shipping is always a big thing. People do not like having to pay for shipping, and if something bit me, but anyway, so if there's anything you can do that kind of helps with that cost of shipping, at least for 1 month or so, then you're going to keep those customers coming back. So the main thing I wanted to start off with was rate of run. We have heard that a lot. If you've listened to any of Tammy's Zooms on Sunday night that she records on Sunday night and the one on Monday. And, I knew how to track it for each day and so forth, but I never really thought about at the beginning of the month, what does it look like, how to track rate of run? And number one, what in the heck is rate of run? So we have several ranks within the company that you can reach. 4K after your VIP 800 or 1600 is your first rank. Then 12K is a rank, and that number all has to be achieved within 1 calendar month. So July the 1st through July the 31st. So you would want to have $4,000 in sales between you and your team in 1 month, $4,000. Now 4K is a true company rank. However, what rate of run can do for you is it can project you farther than what 4K is going to actually take you. I have found that if I keep the mindset of, I want to hit 12K or I want to hit 40K, if I hit 12K, I'm like, okay, I hit it. And then I'm sitting there with 4 more days or 5 more days or 8 more days left in the month. Okay, well, I hit it. Okay, well, what else could I be doing? I could be going up even further than that. So think about what would be a number you would want for your month. Write that number down. By the 31st of July, what volume number do you want to be at? might have to get my little calculator here. I gotta get my cheaters on. And I gotta take a look at my calendar real quick. Okay, you got your number written down? Okay, so take that amount, divide it by 31 days. Okay, that's your daily amount that you and your team, you want to try to achieve each day. Now, some days you're going to be higher than that amount. Some days you may be a little bit lower, but here's where you can track it. So this Saturday's the 4th. My calendar ends on a Saturday. I don't know about yours, Carolyn, or anybody else's. Take a look at where you want to end your Saturday or your Sunday. What would be your goal? So take that monetary amount that you came up with when you divided, I'm just going to say your 4K maybe, 4K by 31 days. Take that money amount you came up with, multiply it by 4, because this Saturday is July the 4th. That's the volume that you would want by Saturday. Now, when you divided your 4K by 31 days, think about what that amount was. For the next Saturday, multiply it by 11, because it's going to be July the 11th. And write that number down. The same thing with the 18th. You take that daily number, multiply it by 18, and write that number down. And I'm going to tell you, the numbers kept growing and growing and growing, bigger and bigger and bigger each Saturday that I wrote this down, and I got the heebie-jeebies. I really did. On the 25th, take that daily amount, multiply it by 25, because it's the 25th day. And then on the 31st, do the same thing. Take that daily amount, multiply it by 31 days. Now that's your goal for your rate of run. So now take a look. Let's say, okay, today is the 2nd of July. All right, I'm going to throw out maybe your volume that you have right now is $700. Okay, so you're going to take 700. So whatever your QV is. Today's the 2nd of the month. That comes out to 350. You take that 350 and you multiply it by the 31 days. That gives you your rate of run. If your team keeps going at that rate of 350 a day, then your rate of run is over $10,000. Look at how close that would have you to 12K. So when you check your rate of run daily, what it does is it helps you to see, are you on track? We used to have a little graphic that showed us if we were on track the 5th, the 15th, and the 25th after auto ships. But you had all this time frame in between there that you could kind of track it, but you were like, okay, oh gosh, well, how can I get there? How can I jump that up? This really pushes your rate of run. And here's an example of how I'm going to tell that. We've got team members that their rate of run, we weren't even doing rate of run, March? And they were probably hitting close to like, I don't know, $15,000 in volume. And by tracking rate of run, their volume and their team is just growing exponentially. It is mind-boggling. And I don't want to like beat a dead horse with it, but I cannot express enough about what rate of run will do for your business. It will either help you to see, okay, hey, I'm on track. All right, let's keep plowing along. Or, oh, I'm a little behind the 8 ball here. What do I need to do next? What else do I need to make sure that I'm taking care of during the day? And sometimes for me, it is just simply a matter of fact of, yeah, I've sat here at my desk for 10 minutes, but did I get my reach outs done? No. So it's just a matter of me making sure that I'm getting those things finished. This was a question I asked at the beginning of that Zoom the other day, and I think this is a good question for all of us. Towards the end of this month, I'll be celebrating 5 years as a Thriver, and that just is crazy. And Carolyn, think about how long you've been a Thriver, and all of y'all that are watching this. Why did you click the promoter button? What was it about your Thrive experience that made you click the promoter button? I want you to write it down. And it may have been as simplistic as me not realizing that you could thrive for free as a customer. You had no idea. We were all still so new and so green then that most of us didn't even know about the Refer To program. So we were the blind leading the blind. Okay, so whatever you wrote down about why you clicked the promoter button, that's your why. Sometimes I think we tend to forget our whys in the hustle and bustle and in the messaging and in all the no's that we get. And the reason that these people say no is it because they don't know what they're missing out on. We do. They don't know. They don't know what they haven't experienced yet. And so it's up to us to paint that picture for them. I was talking about this on that Zoom the other night. Someone doesn't care about all the ingredients unless you've got somebody who's like a true chemist and scientist and an ingredient nerd, and they want to know, okay? People want to know, what is this product going to do for them? They're barely dragging out of bed. They've been home having to homeschool and be with kids since March. School's coming up on the horizon. What is this going to look like? Mamas haven't been getting much of a break. Daddies haven't been getting much of a break. Sleep, well, you know, who knows about sleep? So what they're looking for is they're looking for better sleep. And so, you know, in our posts and so forth, oh my gosh, I slept so great last night. Okay, people are going to start wanting to know, how did you sleep so great? Hang on, I got a cough. Hello, dry patch there. So they want to know, what is it going to do for them? And it's crazy because when I've made posts that are just blatant out there and going, oh my gosh, you know, this is what's happened here, this is what's happened there, that's when I get people messaging me when I've told what it's doing for me. I've been able to, you know, I mean, I don't know how I would word this. This is just kind of off the cuff, but I've been able to drop 2 pant sizes. Okay, that people are going to want to know, what in the world are you doing to drop 2 pant sizes? You know, feeling better than I ever have before. You know, I'm thinking about doing one of those things, except all these people from high school would know exactly how old I was. But, you know, it's like, guess the age of the lady at the fair, at the carnival, you know. So here's my face before, but now here's my face now. Guess my age, be like the lady at the carnival and so forth. Wouldn't that be fun to do? Oh my gosh, that would just be a riot, because Thrive ages you backwards. And so if somebody had to guess how old you were, I guarantee you they're going to guess way far back. Lisa Fuller talked last Friday about the compensation plan that Lavelle has. And I'm going to be honest, I know I get paid every Tuesday. I know how I get credits. We're going to talk about that in just a second. And I know a little bit of how each component works on the compensation plan. But do I understand the whole thing? No, I don't. So if you have not watched Lisa Fuller's compensation Zoom video from last Friday, it is in our team page. It is shared underneath the graphic that she was doing that. That Zoom is phenomenal. It's about 50 minutes long. I have listened to it twice. I haven't started taking notes yet. I've just listened to it and I am completely blown away. Okay, we know that there's VIP 800. We know there's VIP 1600. We know there's 4K. We know there's 12K. That's just the icing. That is the tip of the iceberg. Do you know that there are over 12 ways that we have an opportunity to get paid with this compensation plan? 12. I'm like, holy moly. And she has researched this compensation plan. She describes it as a unilevel hybrid. That doesn't really mean a whole lot to me, but she explains in there why it should mean a lot to us, because most companies have a bi-level compensation plan. They don't have anything like what we do. You'll have people who will come and say, well, we get 50% Okay, but you know what? They are not getting all of the other stuff that we are getting. Watch that video. Don't be misled by folks trying to pull you over or something like that. She even talks about that in there. It is well worth your time. And let's go on and talk about credits really quick. So as you know, when you have 2 customers that thrive with you on auto ship during a calendar month, the first through the end of the month, then Lavelle will send you the average of those 2 highest orders. They'll send you those in credits on July the 2nd. Well, we've come across something that is a glitch. I don't know if it's a glitch in the system or if it's something, it's a loophole. But this loophole is kicking us because it happened to people in Dream Team last month and it's happened to folks in our team this month. Let's say you have a new customer, Sue, and Sue is all gung-ho and she gets in there and she's going to go place her order without you helping walk her through it. And I always tell people, I'm going to walk you through how to do it because I messed up my first order, which I really and truly did. I didn't get my credits used on there and I was about bawling because the credits were really the only reason I could afford to buy that first month. And so I always tell them, I'm going to walk you through this first order. And I explained to them why we're going to put it on auto ship because it's going to save you money right off the top. But here's the loophole. What's happening is people are going in there for their first order. They're seeing auto ship. You can click today's order 1, nothing in the auto ship column, and it lets you continue on that very first order they're doing. Now, I believe if the customer has already placed an order in this manner, they've got to put it on auto ship the next month to get the cheapest price. So what I went in just a little while ago as one of my customers to play with it a little bit to see what in the world would happen. And sure enough, it let me click 1 in today's order, took me right to the next screen to choose which capsules I wanted, which mixes I wanted, which DFTs I wanted, never went on auto ship, and it's costing people credits. So guys, I cannot encourage you enough. You know, walk them through that first order. And if you have to, you know, just put it on yourself like I always do. Let me walk you through your first order. It always is so much easier and helpful. You know, I messed my first order up. I don't want you to mess your first order up, that kind of thing. I mean, I make myself look like a goofball probably by explaining why I want to walk them through that first order. And it goes with the whole parable, each one teach one. You know, if you teach a man to fish, then he can fish for the rest of his life. So once you teach this customer the right way of how to order, then guess what? They may not remember every single caveat of how to order, but they're going to know how to help their friend, and you're going to help them, show them one more time. Okay, so that's where we're running into that glitch. It happened to someone on Dream Team last month, and that was the first time I had heard of it. And then it happened just today for folks in Team Inspire, and it breaks my heart. Absolutely breaks my heart that that has happened. Okay, now I saw something today, and Carol, I want you to unmute yourself, and I want to make sure that it wasn't something that I saw that just popped back in my mind that Paul has done before. Did you see a message from Paul today that said something about I am this, I am that, da 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 da? He talked about getting 40 free accounts. Did you see that?
Oh, I did see it, but I didn't read it all the way. I need to read it again.
Okay, well, it was really awesome because it had all I am statements, which is what we should be starting our mornings with anyway, but 40 free accounts by July the 15th. 40 free accounts. And the reason he's saying 40 now instead of that 100 that he always used to say is because they did some data research, and they were finding that people that had 40 free accounts were actually getting as many customers to start thriving with them as the folks who had 100 free accounts. So instead of 100 being the magic number, 40 is the magic number. And the last time he did that, I had a little ticker over here on my whiteboard, and I was ticking off each time I got a new free account. Now, the first time that I was trying to get 100 free accounts, I mean, I go back and I look at those messages and I want to barf. I'm like, oh my word, you know, we just were so green. We were so green, and we really didn't know what to say. Well, first of all, share your story, share your pictures, share what Thrive is doing for you. Live that Thrive life. Carol, when you're out there working on that trailer, or for those of you who have gardens, if you're out there working in the garden, by golly, make sure that DFT is showing loud and proud. And I need to do that when I'm out in the garden more often. Unbox your box in front of everybody and do a live video. Taking a picture of your box on the front porch. I have a customer who has tagged me in her box. She's been thriving now for 3 months, and she has tagged me in her box every single month. And she has talked in there about what it helps her do. People want to know, what is it going to help them do? Once they know and see what it's helping you do, that's going to intrigue them, and that's when they're going to start asking questions. And I was listening today, and Amber Manquist was talking about this today, 3-way chats and 3-way calls. We don't have to necessarily do all the 3-way calls that we used to. We put them in 3-way chat groups, and that is key because they need that third-party validation. Like I have put, and I'll be honest, 7 months into the business, I quit doing 3-way calls. I'm like, I already know all this stuff. I've listened to them. I've written the notes. I've listened to Tammy. I've listened to everybody. I already know all this. I didn't put one single person in a 3-way chat. Guess how many new customers I got in about a 6-month time frame? I think I got 2. Because the chat groups are not for me. The chat group is for them because it gives them a place to know that, oh, okay, I've got a network of support. If Sandra's busy, then she knows that she can go to that chat group and my friend, and they can at least get their question answered by someone else who's in that chat group with them. A lot of times your friends, they won't tell you what's going on in their world, but they sure will tell a stranger. It's kind of like when you're, okay, Carol, you know what I'm talking about. You get all these people that walk up to you at Walmart, and they will start telling you their whole story and how they just left the ER and they've got like a cyst on their behind. I mean, they will tell a stranger anything. So chat groups are so important. They're not for us. They are for the customer. We are setting them up for success with their Thrive experience. We are setting them up to know what they can expect. I had no idea that come day 3, 4, and 5, I was going to detox. I thought I was pooping my brains out. So nowadays, we set the stage. Hey, by day 3, you may have to go to the bathroom more than once. Now, mine is different because that's just my body was a hot mess before I started thriving. So when you're on here watching this, don't think that everybody's going to like 3, 4, and 5 to have that happen to them. That was just me. So but we let them know that. And we talk about how, you know, make sure that in between your capsules and your mix, that the only thing you drink is water. You know, Coke will turn on your digestion. Coffee will turn on your digestion. So it's all about the person that this chat is created for. From there, that's when, you know, a lot of times we'll say, you know what, they'll want more questions. You know what? The other friend will jump in. Hey, let me get your email address. I can set you up a link where you can go watch a video. Okay, you got their email address. They may want a sample. Okay, sell it. I sell all my samples now. I cannot tell you how many samples I gave away at the beginning, and I don't want to know how much product I lost. If people are not willing to give you their email address before you give them a sample, they don't get it, or before you sell it to them. You don't sell it to them without an email address, without the account made, and don't give it for free, because a lot of times all people are doing is they're sample hopping from person to person, from person to person. And, you know, I mean, Laura's done this before. She's had people that just never would do the sample, and she would say, okay, well, I need to come by and pick that up because that's money out of my pocket. And then they're like, oh, okay, well, I'll set it out for you, or, I'll get started on it, you know. And so, yeah, that kind of is like, ooh, making them, whenever you say, I'm going to come by and pick that up. Ways to get the free accounts is, and I'm going to cut this short here really quick because it's running close to 30 minutes, and I want to open this up, Carol, for you to ask anything. Be you, be yourself, be real, be raw, be willing to put yourself out there and tell what this has helped you with. Carolyn, I don't think I would be able to get up every single morning as early as you do if it were not for having Thrive. Even the 2 mornings I had to get up early to go to the Y, that I was like, oh my gosh, how does Carol do this every single day? So I want you to unmute yourself.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know how you do it. And I know there's a lot of people that we have that are fairly new in this team that they get up at the booty crack of dawn as well. And I have a feeling that they're already noticing a difference in what this Thrive can do. Did you have any thoughts? And then I have something I'm going to share before we end up. Or
I just wish that people, could understand how awesome it is. And my main thing that I just don't want it to be about weight.
It's about health.
There's so much focus on that. And I don't want somebody to think that they're going to drop a bunch of weight. Because then if that doesn't happen, then they feel like you weren't honest with them and they just quit. Because everybody's different.
Exactly. And I'm not one of those who was able to drop weight with Thrive. The only way that I've been able to drop weight with Thrive, and it's just because of how our bodies are made up and so forth, is I work out now. I work out 4 days a week and I walk. And then I have walking on those days for cardio. And then I have cardio 3 other days a week. That's why I'm dropping some weight right now, because I was getting really, really heavy and overweight. But not everybody drops weight on Thrive like that.
No,
but
that's like, you remember, like, I did drop weight, but for the last almost 4 months, I've been at the same weight.
And
so, which is fine.
But you know what? And here's where we can make sure that it's not always about the weight, is people can see the health change. And that's where we have to put the focus, is on the health change. Are you sleeping better? Your hair's going to get better. I mean, your hair, some people have their hair falling out in just handfuls. Your skin and nails are going to start looking better. Your skin is going to glow. I mean, my before picture, 2 years before I started thriving, my skin is gray. It's ashen. It's not illuminated. And so that's where you can tell of what Thrive does from the inside out. And I mean, I don't have to put a filter on. I never put filters on my pictures, because 9 times out of 10, I don't know how. And so the glow that you get is the glow that you get. It's not a filter. And so that's that health piece. And that's where we have to just make it so important about the health piece, the wellness. And with the wellness comes whatever weight changes need to happen for your body. At the beginning, whenever I asked, why did you hit the promoter button? What made you click it? Every year, we all start with vision boards. And I know that you started with a vision board at the beginning of the year. I want you to take a look at that vision board, and I want you to check off anything that has already happened. I want you to add to anything you need to that board. One of the things that I've heard Paul and Jason say, as well as, I've heard Steve Harvey say this, because I listen to Steve Harvey every morning, the guy who does Family Feud. He does motivational stuff every morning on YouTube. And he's like, and I've heard this from other folks, but if there's a weekly number that you're wanting on your paycheck, write it down. Okay? What if you reach that, then change it, So I found my notebook from conference in New Orleans 2 years ago. So I had a 5-year vision set out, and I had goals for 2018, 2019, and I got to 2020, and I couldn't go any further because I just couldn't think that far out. Well, I'm kind of laughing right now, because the one thing I have written down for 2020, I am so far from this. It's not even funny. But you know what? I will get there. And I'm going to take this goal and I'm going to move it to the next year, or probably the year after. I mean, like, you would probably laugh if I told you what it said. But there are some things for 2019 that didn't have to do with my Lavelle Thrive business. They didn't, had a little bit to do with my vision board, a little bit to do with my vision board. One of those things has happened, and it's a big one. And that was by the end of 2019. And you know what? It happened about 2.5 months into 2020. But you know what, guys? It happened. And it wouldn't have happened this early if I hadn't have written it down. So I want you to think about your 5-year forecast. You got your vision board, but think about your 5-year forecast. And I know for some of y'all right now, you're like, I just want to get 2 customers. And here's how we think about this. And I heard this yesterday. Last night I was listening to that Beth Graves Zoom, and God love her heart, she forgot to hit the record button. So we missed all of, anybody who's going back and rewatching it missed all of Lindsay's, and it was phenomenal. And so focus on helping get people on Thrive, GPOT, 2 customers, 2 promoters, 2 customers, 2 promoters, helping those 2 customers get their 2 customers so they can thrive for free, helping walk people through those orders. That is key, especially those first orders, walk them through. And you know what? Don't be afraid to reach out to your upline. Don't be afraid to reach out in your chat group, and don't be afraid to create the chat groups, because they're not for us. It's for them. And 9 times out of 10, there will be something that happens, and then I kick myself in the booty that I did not start a chat group until we had the issue. We can't solve a problem for them if we don't know what the issue is, and we're not going to know what the issue is if we're not in a chat group with them, if they're not already going to feel secure enough to pop in and tell us what's going on. And if people have got an objection, that's where we can find out what the objection is. I used to be horribly afraid of the objection. I'm not afraid of the objections anymore. I want to get down to the bottom of it, because I taught kids how to problem solve in school. I can problem solve anything that comes along when it comes to this Thrive business. So I'm not afraid of the objections anymore. I want to get down to them, because I'm going to blow your objection out of the water and show you why this Thrive stuff works and why you need to be on Thrive. So anyway, we're going to dive in a little bit deeper on some of these things next week. I want to dive in deeper on GPOT, get people on Thrive. And you are going to, Lisa Fuller talked last night about a book, and it is very few and far between that I hear a leader talk about a book that I've never heard of before. And I know that with a lot of our new friends and some of our friends that have been in for a while, it's hard to know exactly what to say. And she talked about a book that she read, and Lisa Fuller was already in another industry before she came to Lavelle. And she said, you know, there are just certain instances where you just don't know what to say. And I ordered 3 copies of that book last night, and 2 of them are going to be giveaways. So be watching tomorrow for the promo for that to drop. And she said it's a super quick read, takes about an hour, a little over an hour of exactly what to say. And she said it has been one of her go-to books. And this girl knows exactly what to say. She's been in for a while. But even for those of us who've been in for a while, sometimes we go blah, 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 and get tongue-tied. And so I'm super excited about being able to give that to y'all. And then there's also going to be a promo that goes out for any new customer order. So y'all be watching for that, because that is all going to land tomorrow. But anyway, I hope that everybody has a great night. Carol, thank you so much for hopping on here with me. And for those of y'all that are going to watch the recording, if you have any questions after you've watched this, don't hesitate to message me, and we will get everything taken care of and answered for you. But y'all have a great night. Love y'all. Bye.